Friggin' thank you so much, Bungie, for what is being hailed as God's gift to PvP enthusiasts this Guardian Games with the return of the Supremacy game mode with connection-based matchmaking, resulting in a playlist that can only be described as a chaotic mixed bag of good old-fashioned Destiny PvP. I have so far spent around 5 hours total in the playlist on PC, and the gameplay in this video comes almost exclusively from that session, and I'm gonna unpack this playlist and my experiences so far, and we'll have an honest attempt at a civil conversation, which I know some of you will fail outright. In fact, the vocal minority of you have probably already got an essay typed up in the comments section before we even get done with the intro about how evil I am and how I want to stop noobs, which is the age-old accusation. But a couple of things right out of the gate. First, thank you to the majority of you who are here with an open mind and understand this is just a video game that we all like to play. Second, if you strongly dislike the matchmaking and the Supremacy game mode, then you don't have to participate in it. You still have your CBMM flagship playlist, and you can compete in Guardian games completely separate from this playlist, so don't panic. And finally, just understand that it is so refreshing after this elongated PvP era, where being a good player means your experience gets tanked. And I don't mean that it gets hard because I'm playing people at my skill level. I mean that it gets god-awful because my queue times are super long with CBMM. For example, here's a lovely 8-minute queue. Yeah, 8-minute queue from Iron Banner the day before it went offline during peak hours when the population is large. You know what I can get done in 8 minutes? I can edit a banger thumbnail, I can do the dishes, I can fold some laundry, I could even take my partner to Flavor Town and still have 7 minutes to kill. Now that I say that out loud, I'm not sure that's the flex that I thought it was, but you get the idea. My queues are stupid long in CBMM, and when I get in there, here are the connections that I have to deal with. I killed this guy on the B flag, but the game didn't register his death for like another 20 seconds, and it assumed that his dead body on the flag was in fact a living player. So I couldn't cap the zone until the game finally caught up with what had happened, because it thought that the zone was being contested. So before you go throwing around big old meanie accusations at good players against CBMM, just understand that CBMM took this game back to the Stone Ages from a technical standpoint for many of us. So the breath of fresh air that Supremacy brought, well, it's less a breath of fresh air and more like that moment that you finally break out of your sleep paralysis and regain your basic motor functions after being pinned down by your fever dream demon. So with Supremacy, several things felt much better. First off, my queue times were nearly instantaneous. I mean, count to 10 and start flying. I loved it. No downtime, just me playing games and having fun uninterrupted by orbit time. And when I got into those games, the connections were solid. People weren't lagging around the map. I didn't see a single error code. Hit registration felt crisp and not behind by, a millisecond like it often is these days. Peak shotting felt accurate. And all of that meant that I wasn't questioning the integrity of the game when I died. I just said, well, hey, GG, good shots, man. There's no lingering question mark over the authenticity of each kill and engagement. Now my matches, they were a mixed bag. Sometimes I slayed out, other times I got dunked on. I remember one player who dropped a "we ran out of medals" on me with a bow. Guy was squirrely as all heck, he never missed a shot with his strident whistle, but you know what? I didn't care. Because it wasn't an Arc Titan with an Immortal or an Ahamkara Hunter with a Lemon Arc. And it wasn't a Solar Warlock spamming Firebolt grenades either. It feels good sometimes to lose to something unique and different. A playstyle that you don't run into often. That's what I love about Destiny. That's what I initially fell in love with about the game, was the whole forge your own identity, become legend. Most matches were somewhere in between being the king and being a peasant. They were all fast-paced matches due to the scoring nature of Supremacy, because Supremacy encourages movement. If you get a kill, you can't just camp in the back, or you miss out on the chance to rack up points by collecting fallen crests. Additionally, the crests give you super energy, so it incentivizes players to be dynamic and keep moving. And also, the weekly bounty requires you to claim crests, so that kept everyone moving around and trying to get those crests picked up, which means more teamwork. Now, there is one bit of feedback that's negative about Supremacy that I can give. The games sometimes start with partial lobbies. I had a match today start as a 3v6, I had one yesterday that started as a 6v4 that devolved into a 6v3 in my favor. And those poor 3 people got hammered until the match finally ended at the score limit, with no mercy rule kicking in because there is no mercy rule in Supremacy. Now, this didn't happen often, but it did happen every now and then, and that didn't feel great. If we can mitigate the instances where this happens and keep prioritizing that fast, chaotic nature of the game mode, then that would be best. We definitely don't want matches dragging out to their eventual completion in a lopsided slogfest. But beyond that bit of criticism, this game mode feels like coming home to the Destiny that I fell in love with. I mean, the top 1%ers, they're still in there. They're in that mixed bag. But they're the top 1% because they aren't super common. You're not going to be running into those players consistently match after match. But you're going to get this mixed bag where no one is taking it hyper seriously. I barely encountered any sweaty Immortal spamming folks in my hours spent there. There are usually 1 or 2 guys on the enemy team really challenging me and giving me a run for my money in every lobby without relying full-blown on top meta gear to do it. And I loved it. But I do want to know what your experience has been like. One great experiment would be to pull up Destiny Tracker and look at your most recent matches. Take a good sample size, like maybe 10 matches, and compare your win-loss ratio, your average KD, and maybe even your average defeats per match across your last 10 matches of Supremacy, and then compare it apples to apples against your last 10 matches of Iron Banner or Control. Allow the data to speak without the influence of your personal bias. I'd be interested to see what the difference looks like for the average player, so feel free to leave any results from that experiment, any comments, any feedback right here in the comments section. I do try to get around to reading all of those. Thank you so much for watching the video today. I appreciate each and every one of you. A polite reminder that I'm partnered up with Apex Gaming PCs if you're looking to upgrade your gaming experience and take it to the next level. I've got a few builds customized for you. The link in the description and pinned comment will take you to them. There's a budget-friendly option, and all of the builds can be financed as well if you can't afford it up front. So using my code TRUE, you can get up to an additional $250 off as well. And then you can experience the failure that is Redfall in hyper crisp quality like I'm doing right now with my wife. We're playing through that game together. It's something to do, but it is kind of a bit of a flop. But that's neither here nor there. So hey, be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.